Hi everyone, let's talk about Cryptid. If you haven't seen it, I just did a playthrough of it, well we just did a playthrough, a two-player variant playthrough of it. Normally it's a 3 to 5 player game. There is some tweaks and things that allow you to play it as a two-player game. So this game is absolutely amazing. I love deduction, not social deduction games. Terrible at bluffing and lying and stuff. Really, really awful, and I don't enjoy them. I enjoy watching them, but being in them, it's absolutely awful. And in terms of deduction games, let me know in the comments the obvious ones that I'm forgetting, but I can only really think of Alchemists. That I absolutely love the deduction part. Not so much a fan of the kind of cutthroaty worker placement, I destroy your theories element of it. Cryptid is, pure deduction and honest deduction, and yeah, it's you are always giving information. It's got an amazing push and pull to it that, if I search somewhere and you say, no, the animal isn't there, I have to tell you, everybody, where the animal isn't as well, based on my clue. And whenever I am searching, so I'm thinking, this is a possibility, and everybody, prove me wrong, or the game ends. That's a really nice way that the search action works, but to do that search, I have to put a disc down that tells everybody this space is a possibility for me. My clue says that the cryptid could be there. So everything is kind of tinged with this push and pull that, to get more information out of everybody, I'm gonna probably end up giving a bit of information. And you are working out, you have at the back of the books tell you, all of the possible clues from, a set of categories that like, it's within this amount of a color of structure, it's in this amount of a type of structure, it's within one space of a type of terrain, that kind of stuff. And as the game starts to go on, you can start to look at how people have placed these things. You are trying to place your cubes and your discs, but especially your cubes, you're trying to place them in such a way that you aren't just crossing off all of these categories for everybody. You're trying to do it very carefully to not only leave options open, but maybe, like in the playthrough, I kept putting them on mountains to maybe make Rach think that, my clue was just it's in a different terrain and that I'm discounting mountains, or I was doing it really close to the white structure that maybe she would think my clue was something like it's next to a blue structure. Something like that is what I was going for there, rather than just place them, scattergun and then discount all of these things for everybody. It's got I'd say that something that might be a big negative for people is that we've found that in the games, there is a lot of silence in the game, especially as it goes on and people have got information and can start working things out. It can get to your turn and you're still trying to work out these things and just, if I just have a couple more minutes, then I can work. I'm so close. And, all of apart from the 2-player one that we did for the playthrough, I think we've only played it 3 players. Maybe one at 4 players, but mainly 3. There was always this beautiful arc of the game into, everyone's clueless and very wary at the start of the game, and then once cubes and discs start to spread out across the map, you start to build a picture that, okay, well, there's a few things I can cross off, and then that starts to influence your searches and your questions. That's, okay, well, I know all of this from this person, so maybe I need to ask this person something, or, well, it's one of 3 things that your clue is, and this is all done in your head, of course. It's one of 3 things that their thing is, so, if I ask them this, then this can discount what my theory is. This can narrow down what it is. And then maybe, I hope this is just part of Cryptid in general. It could have just been a coincidence in the games that we've played, that it's ended up that the end of the arc is that everybody kind of arrives at the same point at a very similar time. All of the games have ended where at least one, and maybe all of us, have said, my turn, I knew that. I was so close, such and such's turn revealed what it was to me. I knew what it was. If my turn had come around, I would have worked this out. And that's beautiful that, none of us were left in the dark about what the thing was. We had all kind of arrived at the same time, and that probably is down to, we'd all learned the game at the same time, and we're all at the complete same skill level and stuff as it goes on. If you were introducing new people, it probably wouldn't be in that way, but it all comes down to the amazing way that this game is put together. Some kind of mathematical genius algorithm that comes up with these map configurations out of, not very many components and different map is 6 different map pieces, and they're rotated in different ways, so it gives you a load of combinations. But it comes with so many different cards for how to lay these things out, and then you are given a clue number that always magically results in one space in the board being true for everybody, and only one space. And so, that for a start means you don't need a book that tells you the answer. That, someone like a deduction game where it'd be like, okay, yeah, I guess, am I right? No, I'm wrong. I'm out of the game now. That's Cluedo I'm thinking of, probably, isn't it? But you're right when you do a search and it goes around to everybody and everybody says yes, because then that's the only space that can be true. So there are loads of possibilities, so much replayability in this, just from the sheer amount of cards and clues that are available. But then there is a web app, I think it's playcryptid.com, where it will walk you through kind of the tutorial for the game and stuff and how to set up the game, but also give you infinite possibilities for how to set the map up and give you a clue on the phone. You pass the phone around, you pass the web page around to everybody that tells them what their clue is privately, and they can check it later on. You could have cheating in that, but really, there's nothing the game can do about that. That's down to the players that you play with, isn't it? But yeah, I think that's... And then another part, we didn't do the playthrough with this because it would have just twisted our heads too much. You can have an advanced mode where there is now an extra type of structure. There is a black, shack, and standing stone as well, so there's another colour to be thinking about. But also, every clue in the game can also be the inverse of it. So instead of having it's within 1 of forest, like I had in the game, you could have the clue it's not within 1 of forest, which turns the whole thing on its head, because now you have double the stuff to count out, and everything you start to think well, what if they've just got the opposite clue? And it turns the game on its head and adds so many more possibilities to it. It does make the game longer. It makes it harder to work out. But for the deduction element, it's perfect. It adds an even more complex puzzle to it. And it's just beautiful. It's maybe we need some more experience with the game to get more comfortable with that, because the one time we have played with advanced mode, it felt too much. But I'm absolutely in love with this, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to the 2-player version as well. Yeah, that's kind of like playing with the advanced mode with the multiplayer. It felt like it was starting to get a little bit too much, that you are dealing with 2 colours and stuff. I'm so glad that the opportunity is there. And again, once we're more comfortable with it, maybe we'll find it easier. But yeah, you are trying to work out what 2 clues are from other people and trying to keep both of the clues balanced in your head and stuff. It does ramp it up a little bit there as well. Probably not as much as playing advanced mode, but it's something to bear in mind if you're playing with 2 players. But yeah, the main goal of the game is 3 to 5 players. It's just lovely to have that option there. Absolutely in love with Cryptid and can't wait to keep playing it. The playthrough, though, will hopefully give you a good idea of whether or not you'd be interested. That's Cryptid. Bye, everyone.